guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're not. Today's video is going to be another Fashion Friday, of course, and I'm going to be going over 2023 spring fashion trends. I do seasonal fashion trend videos on my channel every year, and they are some of my favorite videos to make. I think it's so fun to kind of dive into the trends, see what's going on, interpret them, get inspired by them, and just feel excited about what's to come. I feel like also spring is a very exciting time for this because winter is just kind of for fashion for me anyways. I mean, there are some cute things that we wear for winter fashion, but overall I feel much more inspired going into spring and summer and fall for fashion wise. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the trends. I'm not going to be styling them today, but I'll do a styling version next. And I'll also link the articles that I use for research on this. I also go all over social media, Pinterest, and just real life and see what I've been seeing, what I'm inspired by, and what seems to be trending for this upcoming season. So let's get to the trends. Okay, the first trend is something I actually talked about in my 2023 overall year trends, and that is hearts. So this is something that in my research I found out was definitely all over the runways as well, but specifically this is something that I have just seen so much in real life and I have been so drawn to and so inspired. So for example, I have been wearing a lot of heart jewelry lately, which I think is a great way to incorporate this trend, because I do think that hearts on clothing could feel a little bit over the top or cheesy, or maybe just not right for what we want to go for. That isn't to say that it doesn't exist in a tasteful, fashionable way, but I find myself gravitating towards the jewelry much more so. So a pair of earrings I have from Orium and Heavy Manners is like the cutest pair of heart earrings ever. I wear them a ton and they are so cute. I also have a heart gold necklace from the brand Uji, I think that's how you say it. Such a good necklace. I get so many compliments on it. I just bought the Orium necklace that matches my earrings actually, which is also a heart. And then I recently got a locket from this brand Aliciante that is so stunning, and I just think that it's a nice, romantic, lovely piece to have, and hearts are just a nice thing. Like, I like that, especially in a tasteful way, and I think that jewelry is the best way to do it. However, I do have my eyes on this heart like corset kind of style top from this store called Stolen Stores. I'll put a picture here. It is such a beautiful piece, and I think that that's a little bit more out there, a little bit more fun. It kind of reminds me of Queen of Hearts or something, but there's just, I'm seeing hearts everywhere. So if you don't have a little heart piece of jewelry or something with a heart on it, you might want to pick it up because it's cute and it's on trend. Okay, this next one that I'm going to talk about is a core, which I feel like whenever I talk about a core style, basically what it means to me is that it's a little bit hardcore. It's to the core, it's a little extreme, it's a little over the top, it's maybe even a little costumey. So keep that in mind, and obviously with everything that's kind of core, you can tailor it to your needs and your taste to make it more fitting for you. You don't have to go as over the top. But the trend is doll core. So when I was doing my research, they said that Gucci had kind of been ahead of the curve on this trend and incorporating it for a while, but now a bunch of the other spring summer runway shows for 2023 were showcasing this sort of doll core. So think like very youthful, joyful, pretty pieces, cute things. Baby doll dresses, of course, are perfect for this. Lace, bows, ruffles, I think like loafers with the little ruffly white socks, or Mary Jane's. Just kind of a little bit costumey, but there's definitely ways to do it where it doesn't have to be as over the top like that. And I think that this is perfect going into spring, because I always feel like spring is the time when we're obviously wearing pastels and florals and kind of more feminine, lively, happy little pieces. So doll core just makes a lot of sense there for me. Some other brands that I think do this really well is Selkie. They are the most iconic dresses, I feel like, that are definitely giving doll vibes, and also For Love and Lovins gives this vibe a lot for me. So I love both of those brands. They are definitely on the more feminine side, which is not my normal go-to, but I do appreciate it, and I definitely do like to wear it from time to time. Okay, the next one is much more practical and more wearable. So there's just a variety of things in here that sparked my interest. Some of them are like the core, where it's a little bit more extreme, not as wearable or obvious, I guess, and then others are much more wearable and obvious. So there's a good variety for us. And the next one is trousers, which I adore trousers. I guess, according to my research, the search for trousers went up by like 55% or something. People were just really turning towards them. And when I was researching this, it just kind of made me think, oh, this is like the bottom that people are pairing with a lot of things versus maybe a skirt or denim or, you know, any other kind of bottom. So trousers make a lot of sense in pretty much every season. I do think that they're really lovely for spring because they're chic, you can dress them up a little bit, and I feel like spring is a time when we start going to more social gatherings and being outside and like getting a little dressed up in that frilly way, not the holiday way like we're doing in the winter. So I think that trousers are so nice for that. You can get them in like a linen material, which is a little bit more breathable and light, or a pastel color, which is lovely. There is a really light yellow pair from Abercrombie that is so nice for that, or like a silky pair of trousers, which I own, and I get so much wear out of them in the spring and summer. They're just beautiful, they're flowy. These look great with like a two-piece set, a suit, or any kind of top really. So I think the trend takeaway here is just pairing things back to trousers a lot. Maybe, like I said, instead of denim or shorts or skirts or something like that. This next one is something I believe I also talked about in my 2023 overall trends video, and that is motocross style. So whenever I talk about this, it definitely, Bella Hadid comes to mind. I feel like this is kind of her signature look, and she wears it a lot in recent times, and she wears it so well. It is definitely a street style feel to it. It's a little bit more edgy. It's going in the opposite direction of things like dollcore. So again, just a nice variety there. You pick and you choose what inspires you. Maybe it all does, maybe none of it does. But I do think that the motocross trend is really cool. I always say that when I'm wearing an outfit with a motocross jacket, I think the jacket is kind of the outfit. It's the statement. So you kind of just dress it down otherwise. Maybe a pair of denim, a pair of leggings, maybe a simple dress underneath, but the jackets usually have a lot going on, whether it's structure or color or the design, like all of the little, they're not patches, but you know what I'm saying, the kind of just the design of the jacket will have a lot going on. On the runway, I think I saw that Prada, Blue Marine, Diesel is one that really does a lot of this, and so it's just kind of that like edgy cool girl feel. I have a jacket that I thrifted that's a motocross jacket. I'm obsessed with it. We got it in Amsterdam, gosh, like 4 years ago, I think. And I think that these are really great pieces to thrift. So definitely check that out if you are into this trend. Okay, the next one that I have been talking about for a while on my channel, I feel like this really started to come onto the scene last fall and winter, is the flower applique corsage type situations. I think that's what they were referring to it as on Who What Wear, but basically just the flower attachments on necklaces, scarves, jewelry, clothing, and I love this trend. I think that it is so cool. It's really fun, and I also find it to be sexy and edgy, not super feminine and just girly, you know, like florals normally can be. So I think that this one's really cool. I love it on a necklace, like a statement piece. I did in my 90s styling video a necklace that had a big black flower on it, and I think that it just really makes a look, and I find it to be just so fun and kind of pushing boundaries a little bit, which I like because it's a little eccentric and maximalist, I guess. So I think it's really fun. Brands like Fancy Club are so good at this. You guys have probably seen their dresses everywhere. They are fantastic. Also, when I was shopping on Zara the other day, there was like these big flower earrings and flower necklace, which is a little bit different of a take the way that the flowers were. They weren't like a petally flower. They were like stringy kind of. So I'm seeing it in some different formats than that one big kind of rose-like flower. The next trend is big bags. So I actually don't really own any big bags other than work totes. I am a small bag type of girl. I just find them to be more comfortable for me, and I just gravitate more towards them when I'm styling looks. So I really don't own any big bags, but this is definitely something pretty much across the board on my research was mentioned, so it is absolutely happening. A big bag that I do really like, and I have liked it for a while, but Clayton said it was really silly and not the vibe, and I said, okay, I'm gonna listen to you because sometimes I make very silly decisions about bags. But it's the YSL big tote, and definitely Zoe Kravitz was wearing it. I think that's where I first saw it, and then I want to say it was like Bella or Haley was wearing it as well, and it's just this huge oversized quilted tote with the YSL on the front. And what's really nice about this trend actually is that these bags are more practical and maybe more wearable in terms of what you're using them for. Like I said, I feel more comfortable holding small bags and they feel more wearable to me almost, but this by definition I would say is more practical, because I have some bags that I literally can only fit like a lip gloss in, which is pretty stupid. So this is nice. I have also seen some really good Bottega ones that are bigger. I think in my research they said Chloe was doing this on the runway. It's definitely happening. So if you're a big bag girl, this is gonna be great for you. And if you're not like me, maybe we can get into it. All right, this next trend is similar to the flower applique corsage trend, and it's essentially the same thing that's on the fancy club dresses attached to the flowers. It's just these little ruffly details that are kind of stringy, and I have seen them all over. So the fancy club I feel like mostly does it with some flower details as well, but not completely. And I've just seen it everywhere. I think Lioness has a dress like this. Who else? This one brand, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name, but I've seen it all over social media, and I'm just really drawn towards this look of these kind of flowy, ruffly details added to any kind of type of clothing really. I think White Fox has a set that's a skirt and a top that has like the little ruffle detail coming off of it, and it's just really flirty and fun. It gives me kind of dancer vibes, like a little bit costumey I guess in that way, but it's flowing and it's sexy and it's pretty and it's just a nice detail. It makes it more fun. So again, this is really top of mind is Fancy Club for this design, but I'm telling you, I've seen it everywhere. And if you're looking for an outfit to wear to a party or an event or like a bachelorette or something, I think that this is such a fun way to do it, because it's giving fun feminine energy to me. All right, this next one is something that I talked about in my 2023 trends video as well, and that is ribbon. So I have been obsessed with ribbon lately. I think it is literally one of the funnest little details to add to an outfit in so many different ways. So you can wear them around your neck like a little necklace, you could wear it just as a choker, or you could put the bow in front and make it a little bit more feminine, which I have been loving. I think it's so cute. I think it's so sweet and pretty, and it feels a little artsy and DIY-ish. I actually got inspired by that from the For Love and Lemons Valentine's Day collection. I think they did that as the accessory in a lot of different outfits, and I just thought that it was the perfect romantic wearable touch. I love it, and you can literally get ribbon at the store for so cheap, and it gives you so much. You can tie it around your neck, you can put it in your hair, in a ponytail, in pigtails, in a half up, in a bun. It's limitless. And then also on little details of your clothing. I actually don't have straps on today, but if you're wearing a tank top or something, you could tie a little bow on the strap, and it's so cute, and it's just freaking fun. I'm obsessed with ribbon. I didn't necessarily see anything about it for my research on the runways, not to say it doesn't exist there, but I've seen it so much in real life and I've been so inspired by it, so I had to include it. Okay, and next up is something that I actually did an entire video about on my channel, which you can check out, but that is ballet core. So again, when something is core, it's a little bit extreme, but ballet core I find to be kind of one of the more wearable cores, just because ballet is obviously a sport and the clothing is really comfortable. It's not super crazy by any means, so it can be pretty wearable stuff. And I just love this trend because, like I said in my other videos, I think it's really good for our inner child. If you were a ballerina, or if you wanted to be a ballerina, or just, you know, kind of having that youthful feeling of trying something new or trying to be a ballerina, it feels fun and special to me. And I also think that they're just really chic, timeless, pretty silhouettes and pieces, and there's really fun accessories in there as well, like leg warmers. I've mentioned, I think they make so many outfits look so much cuter. Shrugs I think are one of the best little accessorizing layers that we can add to things, and then wrap tops, wrap skirts, tights, off the shoulder tops, like slouchy sweaters. There's just so much good in that genre, so I think that it's really fun, and it is on the runways. It is a real trend that's happening. I've seen it so much on social media as well, but I think it's just kind of a fun one to lean into if you're down to be a little poser ballerina. Next up is something I talked about in that previous video of 2023 trends as well, and that is metallics and metals. So this is something that I've been seeing a lot in my research for the past couple of months. I think it's a huge thing in general in fashion right now, and it's really fun as well. This is less on that feminine side, which a lot of the trends seem to be going into this spring, which again, as I mentioned, I think that's just kind of fitting for spring in general. The metallics is a little bit more out there, it's a little bit more edgy, and I think it's great for more spicy days and outfits in your life. If you're going to a club, if you're going to a party, if you just feel like being a little bit more edgy and dressed up, the metallics is great. So specifically, I have seen so much silver in the past couple of months, and I've personally been really drawn to that. I have a pair of silver boots from Amazon that are like a dupe for the Schutz ones because those have been sold out forever, and I love them. They are such a fun addition to an outfit. They also do a lot of talking and kind of end up being the statement, but you can do a lot with metallics that doesn't have to be the statement piece, and you can do things that you might not expect to do. My friend Bridget, you guys might know her, Acquired Style, I remember she wore this really feminine, beautiful cream colored dress to New York Fashion Week last year, and she paired it with the silver boots, which I would have never thought to do, but it looked so good together. I loved the juxtaposition, and it was just really fun and interesting, and there's so much that we can do with these metallics. So whether it's wearing a bunch of jewelry and kind of going in lightly that way, or if you want to get a pair of silver heels or boots or in the clothing, just have fun with that, because I feel like this one especially just gives me fun vibes. Don't take it too seriously. The next one that I want to talk about is tights, and I feel like this is something that we normally talk about going into fall and winter, which they are perfect for, but also in spring I think that they can be done in a little bit more of a fresh and exciting way, and particularly what comes to mind for this is the kind of viral look that Kendall Jenner did, where she wasn't wearing pants, I don't think, and she was just wearing tights or something along those lines. I've seen a lot of people recreate it on TikTok, and everyone looked so cool. I thought that it was so fun, and I like something that's just a little bit weird and out there like that. I like to push the boundaries with fashion. I like to try new things, and I think this tights trend in this more risque way is really fun. So wearing a little pair of kitten heels, a pair of black tights, and maybe you put a hot pant or something over it, or you don't, you just wear a bodysuit over it, which is kind of that ballet core feel as well with the tights and the bodysuit. I think she was wearing a blazer or something, or I've seen people style it online with the blazer, the tights, and bodysuit over it, and just a pair of heels. It's so chic and so fun. I get that that is not the most wearable look, and there's probably only a few places in the world that you're really gonna feel comfortable wearing that, but if you are in a big city or going to one, or you just don't care what anyone thinks, I think that that can be a very fun Friday or Saturday night outfit. Okay, and then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is denim. So I felt kind of conflicted on this one because in my research, I found that the fashion houses or the articles that I was reading were talking about wider, baggier, big leg denim, which I have seen a lot of, and I do love like the puddle hem and just the super loose, like some low rise, all these types of things. I definitely see them happening, and I definitely really like them. But on the flip side of that, on social media, I have seen a lot about this comeback of skinny jeans. So I feel a little bit torn, and it's not that both couldn't exist at the same time in the same time period and both be trending, so I'm sure that's just kind of what's happening, but I wanted to talk about both of them because I feel like there's something to it for both of them. I particularly lean a little bit more towards the baggier end, and I think that that is where I would go. That's what I found most of my research for on the runways. But the skinny jean that I've seen on social media, I've seen everybody styling it with a knee-high boot, which I can get behind because that kind of just gives me boots and leggings feel. I don't know if I will ever be able to go back to a skinny jean with sneakers or like a booty, or gosh, I don't know, I really don't know. I really don't know if I can be a skinny jean girl, but I think I could get down with the skinny jeans, a knee-high pair of boots, a big blazer, or something kind of an 80s vibe is what I'm picturing. I just wanted to throw it out there because there's both things happening, and let me know in the comments what you guys are leaning more towards on those two extremes of the denim trends. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will have a styling version of this video up next, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.